Welcome everyone to the very first in-person USA Jigsaw Nationals individual competition. All right, awesome. We are so excited to have you all here. This competition has grown well beyond what we imagined. We are so excited. We're so thrilled to not only completely filled the individuals competition, but we had a wait list a mile long. So we're glad that some of you were able to fill those spots today. So first of all, a few quick announcements before we get started. Want to make sure to do a shout out to Ravensburger, as you all see there. Big sponsor, thanks Ravensburger. They supplied the puzzles for this, and also some of the trophies and medals and a bunch of other stuff that I listed at opening ceremonies. So they've been wonderful to work with. Also, a very big sponsor of ours is Completing the Puzzle. Give them a big round of applause. They are responsible for our live stream. They took it and ran with it and made it possible. Without them, it would have been impossible. So thank you to them. Couple other quick things. Make sure after this to, let's see here, to stop by Hillcrest. To double check if you won a raffle prize. We still have some left, and you need to pick those up by 3:30. Otherwise, you forfeit them, and we'll draw some extra raffle winners. The sprints will be closed, I think, 1 or 1:30. Make sure if you're not competing and you want to do the sprints, you do that ASAP. And also make sure to stop by the Ravensburger booth. They have buy one, get one half off of all of their puzzles, including all the competitions puzzles from this weekend, including, just in case any of the competitors want 2 copies of this puzzle, they'll have that one there too. They've got a really awesome discount for 20% off their photo puzzles. And then let's see here. So we will run through the rules really quick, and then we will get started. So the contest today is 100 individuals completing a 500-piece puzzle. It's a custom puzzle from Ravensburger. So no one has seen this in puzzle form yet anywhere. You'll have 2 hours to do that, no scheduled break. If you need to go to the bathroom, you can, but that's on your own time. Once you're getting close to completing the puzzle, you're going to raise your hand to kind of let the volunteers around know that you're getting close. We will all be walking through, having a pretty good idea of where people are at, but raising your hand a little bit lets us know in case we might miss you. And while I'm mentioning the volunteers, that's everyone in the yellow vest here, and we want to give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much to them. Without them, this would not be possible. We're already so nervous trying to get your times as it is. So thank you to them. So you will be looking for one of them. Once you finish your puzzle, they will be recording your time from the timer up above here. This is the official timer. You can have a timer on your table if you'd like to, but this is the one that we'll pull times from. So they will record your time and let you know you're done. You can go ahead and put your puzzle away. Let's see here. You'd think I'd be better at this after like multiple times, but a couple things going on in my head. If you can't find your last piece, we have had this happen today. If you can't find your last piece, there's a 10-second penalty. So what you want to do in that situation, if you think you can't find your last piece, say so early. Let them know, hey, I think I'm missing my last piece. They will mark the time, and a 10 seconds delay will start from there. If you find your piece before that 10 seconds is up, they'll stop the time. But if after 10 seconds you can't find that piece, they'll go ahead and record that time. So basically, we don't want you looking for a piece for multiple minutes. So that's just a 10-second penalty there. If at the end of the 2 hours you have not completed your puzzle, we will count down and we will yell hands up, and everyone needs to take their hands off their puzzle. And from there, we will have photographers come around and take a picture of your puzzle and the status where it ended. And then we will have volunteers coming by to help count the unassembled pieces. So anything put together 3 or more, clusters of 3 or more will count. Anything less than that will be put into piles of 10 to be counted as unassembled pieces. One thing I forgot to mention, so like I said, at the end of the 2 hours, we'll yell hands up, and your hands need to come up. But even if you do finish your puzzle earlier than that, when you're done, make sure your hands come completely off the puzzle, throw them up because you'll be excited that you finished it. And that way we know that you're completely done, you're not finishing putting in a last piece. Everyone can have up to 2 trays of size A3, 16.5 by 11.7 to be exact inches. Everyone has to keep their tablecloths on their tables with the white poster board on there to make sure everyone has the same setup, because not all of these tables are made exactly the same. They're the same size, but they are kind of ugly under those tablecloths. So I think that's everything. So what we're gonna do is we'll do a countdown from 5, and when I say go, that's when you'll be able to open your puzzle, open your bag, and open your puzzle and start puzzling. So, is everyone ready? All right, we're gonna count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Day 2, Session 2 of the USA Jigsaw Puzzle Nationals 2022. We've just started the individual competition. They'll have 2 hours to finish a 500-piece puzzle, or as many pieces as they can. Of course, this event hosted by the USA Jigsaw Puzzle Association. We have one of the co-founders and board members with us right here at the table, and it's Valerie Coit. And Valerie is going to unveil the puzzle.
Yeah. So this is exciting for us as a board. We wanted to make sure there was no way somebody could get this puzzle and do it ahead of time, because there are some super fans out there who order from Germany direct, and they get stuff before it hits the U.S. marketplace. And so there were a few puzzles we used this weekend that if you went to Germany or you went to Europe, you might have been able to get your hands on it. So we did a custom puzzle, and we made it San Diego themed. So we're calling it The Heart of San Diego. It's an illustration that has some of the major San Diego landmarks on there. And I am dying to see how they do on this, because it's, I think, going to be a little bit challenging because it's kind of a flat illustration. So you have some blocks of just solid flat color. So there could be a little shape sorting that comes into play when we start getting into some of this flat color area. But there's a lot of variation, so we do think it's going to be somewhat fast too. So, you know, we'll see where it ends up. But I think we're going to have some really, really good times today on this puzzle.
Let's go over to Brian Thomas, one of the co-owners of completing the puzzle. And what do you think of this piece here?
I agree with Val. I've learned that the pros tend to piece sort at the end, or shape sort, and I actually do think they're going to shape sort at the end of this. I think this is actually a really fun one. There are some big blocks of colors, but I think there's enough variation. I like this one. I do this one.
Okay.
And I tried to get a sneak peek myself, and Val snatched it away from me. So I couldn't even see it early. This is really exciting. I love this one. I think this is cool.
All right, we see the Hotel del Coronado. That is the red-roofed building there. It's a very famous out on Coronado. They filmed Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe and Tony Curtis there, and I know they've used it many times. It's right. Of course, they show the beach and some other buildings there. So the folks putting this together will have a better idea of the San Diego skyline there. They may not have got to see it this weekend because they were doing puzzles, but you kind of put it in front of them, the scenery in front of them in this competition. So who's some of the people you like to finish really quickly in this?
Yeah, so we were just talking about before we went live, you know, where do we think the team or the individuals are going to kind of finish? It's strange because we had like 40-minute times, you know, approximately for the pairs, but I actually think in the individuals we're going to be right around that time period as well. We're probably going to have some 40, 44 minutes, something like that. If we compare to World Championships, where, you know, we had some lightning fast times in the 2022 World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship, Alejandro Clemente Leon, who we had a Q&A with the other day, he's a phenom. He finished in 34 minutes, 25 seconds. I don't think anybody's doing that here. If that happens, I will just be over the moon because we might actually have a shot then at Worlds someday of like unseating Alejandro. But right now, he's the fastest jigsaw puzzler in the world. And second place at Worlds was 41:27. That was Kristen too from Norway. But I've seen times like that in virtual contests in the U.S. for individuals. So we have some folks in this room that are at that level. Some of those people are like Gray Rogers, who's at table number 2, Sarah Schuler, table number 3, Dawn Rasmussen, table number 4, Melinda Whiting, Robin DeCare. You know, we've got we got them all bunched together, so that makes it interesting. Our cameras don't have to go too far to see some of the top puzzlers in the country. But, you know, there could be people out there we've never seen before. We have no idea. They might come in and they just are, you know, proved to be a prodigy at this. So it'll be really exciting to watch.
So we're 4 minutes, 45 seconds now into this 2-hour competition. And as Ali Krasny mentioned at the beginning, if you saw the opening there, that, you know, if you're not finished in that time, they'll count the pieces and you'll be scored on the completed pieces. But hopefully most of the competitors will be finished. There's kind of
Yvonne's got her logo first. She did our logo first. I love it. Love to see that. Got the USA JPA logo is the first thing she did. Wonderful. Yvonne, I should have mentioned too, actually, she did really well at the world competition. I think she placed like 8th or 7th, you know, right up in the top at Worlds. So she is also one to really watch today. Mm-hmm.
And who are you liking? I know you've kind of really strategized on how they did in the team and the pair to kind of figure out who you think is going to be the best in the individual.
I have. So I averaged everyone's score, and from the pairs and the teams, Sarah Schuler actually it's in favor of her to win. And then Gray and Melinda actually come in the second, and then we have Dawn and Yvonne. But Robin's right there too, so really exciting. This is gonna be fun.
And tell us why you think Sarah is the leading contender right now then, and tell us about her finishes in the previous 2 competitions.
Yeah, so in the teams contest, she got first, and then in pairs, she got 4th. So that's an average, pretty high average.
Yeah, that's the best. And then there was others that came in right. In the team they were 4th, and in individual they were 2nd or. Yeah.
So that's actually the pairs competition. That would be Gray and Melinda. They were paired together and they got 2nd, and they were on the teams together and they got 4th together in the teams. So you can kind of see who's in your team, who's doing the best. It's like when you're in high school and you're doing a group project. There's a clear winner. I think some of these are the winners.
Okay. Well, appreciate that analysis there, Brian. All right.
So I was just going to talk a little bit about the approach to this. I know we've had lots of people on the live stream commentary that are like, I like getting the tips and tricks. How do people do these this fast? I have been a virtual puzzle contest organizer for the last couple of years with USA JPA, so I have meticulously watched these folks. Right. So I can tell you a little bit about what you're seeing. I know we're kind of moving the camera around a little so we can show more people, but typically watching like Gray, Melinda, Sarah, those folks puzzle, what they usually do, dump it all out completely and just start going through it and grabbing. Sorry, there's some commotion. We got a Ravensburger person doing the contest over here on social, which is a lot of fun. They're having a good time with it. But yeah, so they're going to be immediately just both hands going through, flipping all the pieces, grabbing out the edge is usually kind of how most of them start. Throwing the edge in a pile, they might do the edge first or they might wait, depending. Looking at this, I actually think you might have a lot that don't finish the edge right away. They might finish or do that towards the end because you've got a lot of the kind of swirly blue at the bottom, a lot of blue at the top. A lot of people might just wait to throw that in at the end or even just do partial edge, finish the rest of the edge later. And then they're going to be picking out the things that stick out. That Hotel Coronado that you mentioned, the red roof thing, I would guarantee almost all those top competitors, that's the first thing they're going to tackle. It's got different color block. They can easily identify it, grab it out, and just quick assemble that. Same with like the USA JPA logo. We'll get some that grab that sun and just do all the yellow pieces right away. So that's, I think, what most of them are, how they're going to approach it. They're just going to be going through the pieces, grabbing the stuff that catches their eye and putting those sections together and really doing it piecemeal.
All right. And we'll get to follow everyone along here as the cameras kind of work their way up and down through the tables. But we have a full house here. It's 100 competitors, 2 at a table. They're doing a 500-piece puzzle. They have 2 hours. We expect folks to be finishing in probably the first half hour or so from now. We're just over 9 minutes in. As we mentioned, Alejandro Clemente Leon from Spain has the world record. He did a 500-piece puzzle in 34 minutes, 25 seconds at the Worlds in June. And his team also won the team competition as well with him on there. So anyway, we're just really going to see what these times are. And it was interesting because you alluded to the fact that maybe the individuals can do this about as fast as 2 people. How does that work?
I don't know. It's not true of me. I can tell you that much. When I puzzle individually, I go slower because I tend to build off of the energy of the other person. So I feel like having that other person across from me, you kind of generate your own kind of group energy, and that momentum really keeps me going. As an individual, I find it way harder to stay focused, stay moving at a fast pace. You're very fast paced at the beginning usually when you're flipping those pieces and organizing. And then it's easy to get into kind of a rhythm of putting pieces together. So if I have a partner to play off of, it kind of helps with that.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Go ahead.
We actually got an interesting piece of advice for all the puzzlers watching. No one's really doing the border. Everyone's sticking with that red, the red building.
The Hotel del Coronado, yeah.
And I think a lot of them are doing the logo as well. So as you're sorting, if you see a piece that's kind of like catches your eye or it has like the logo in it or San Diego, do you put it to the side and are you actively, like, can you get drawn away from what you're doing to actually like do that little piece?
Yeah, I mean, I usually, when I'm flipping and grabbing edge, if it's something really identifiable, I might throw that into a pile at the beginning too. Everybody has their own technique. Some people will flip it really fast and then take a few minutes to just quick make piles and grab things. Kristen too, from Norway, totally different style. I don't know if there's anybody here. We should ask the volunteers to take a look. She didn't take the puzzle pieces out of the box. She just opened the box and then took pieces out one at a time, put them into piles. She would spend like 13 minutes sorting, but then she did such a detailed sort that when it came time to do one little section, it took her seconds to put together like 10, 12, 15, 20 pieces, place it in, next pile, and she just would work her way through the piles. And it was like insane. Everybody there was like, wait, she didn't dump it out? What is happening right now? Because that's just such a different technique. And she puzzled one-handed. She spent most of the competition like this, with one hand, her head resting on one hand and her other hand doing all the work. And it's really fun if you look up, go to the YouTube channel for the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championship. You can watch the videos of Kristen competing, and you're just sort of like, how is this happening? We all were just flabbergasted at how she did it and how she could do it so fast. But it was really amazing to watch. I know Karen Puzzles on her YouTube channel. She's here with us today, so a lot of you on the live stream might be familiar with Karen. She's got a major jigsaw puzzle account on YouTube. She talked about it in her World's Recap and said that Kristen Tuve was her new favorite puzzler because she was so fascinating to watch.
Go ahead.
Yeah, here's a shot of the logo being finished. So as we can see, so whoever's puzzling here, they're not doing the edge. And they're working on the red building. Yeah, it is. Yeah, she's definitely one to watch too. And we also have a pro in the room that's not competing, Tammy McLeod.
Tammy, our technical person and a USAJPA board member, is sitting right next to us. Do you want to comment on the puzzle, Tammy? No, she says no. She's a little busy. Yeah, she's a technical person, so she's making sure everything runs smoothly. But yeah, she is a really fast puzzler. She's Yvonne's usual partner, and they did a great job at Worlds. Tammy was a part of the team that finished sixth at World Championships. And yeah, and Tammy actually holds the Guinness Book of World Record for fastest jigsaw puzzler because they have a puzzle that you can purchase. It's the official Guinness puzzle. It's, I think, 256 pieces. 250 pieces, and you can do it as many times as you want to try to beat the world record, and then once you get it to the time that's faster than the previous record holder, you can request to record and then get it officially recorded by one of the Guinness people. Tammy beat the record, so she's currently the world record holder for the Guinness puzzle. She did the 250 piece puzzle in how long?
9:58.
She did it in 9 minutes 58 seconds. A 250 piece puzzle. That would mean that one of these would have to finish this in 20 minutes to compare.
Exactly. Congratulations, Tammy. And everybody out here is glad you're not competing today.
Exactly. Yeah, actually, looking at the shots, I'm like, this might be a little harder than we thought. I don't know. It'll be fun to see.
Are lots of blue without, we've got our blue down here. There are different shades, but we've even got the clouds that have a little bit of blue in them, and of course the water. And this will be the bridge, probably the Coronado Bay Bridge that goes out to Coronado Island, where you'll find the Hotel Del. So, yeah, and I'm sure the El Cortez Hotel here, one of these two buildings. I'm not positive on everything in the skyline, but anyway, let folks continue to look at that.
It's a mix. It's a mix of curvy lines, straight lines. It's got a little bit of everything, I feel like, in there. So I just can't wait to see how it goes.
All right.
15-minute mark, and I don't see anybody that's close to half done. But we will soon find out.
All right, and we got the live camera wandering around from table to table, focusing in on folks. So, yes, you bet. Let's talk to Brian about completing the puzzle. Wanted to do another little segment to give you a shout out and let folks know about a wonderful opportunity to, get puzzles just sent to them right there in the mail, stuff that they're really excited to get. So tell us about how completing the puzzle works.
I'm going to kick it back to you, and I'm going to ask you a question. What do you do when you finish a puzzle? What do you do with the pieces?
All right. Great question. Just crumple it up, put it back in the box, but then here's the thing. It goes in the closet, like I say, usually on the top shelf if there's room. Otherwise, it just goes on the floor in the back of the closet. And we moved last year after 18 years of things being piled up in the closet.
I'm sure there are a lot of puzzle pieces back there.
There were, exactly.
So that's actually why we started the business. It was 2.5 years ago, beginning of COVID. I purchased a puzzle for Elena, my partner, and she was like, oh, this is such a great puzzle. It was at Park City where we were supposed to go for her birthday, couldn't go. And so she was like, why don't we rent these puzzles? We looked online, there wasn't really anyone doing it, so we launched the business. And today we have thousands of members all across the U.S. that sign up for our service, and in that process, you fill out a puzzle preferences. So you pick your level, you pick the themes that you like, and you can actually subscribe to certain puzzles. We call it a wish list. So you view the catalog of over 1,000 unique puzzles, you heart the individual ones, and when it comes time to pack your puzzle, we pick one from that, and if we don't have one of those in stock, then we use your preferences, so you're guaranteed to get a puzzle that you love.
Excellent. And you've really made it easy. I know yesterday you kind of mentioned that it was the old Netflix kind of business model where you'd send it out, they'd watch it, they'd send it back, and tell us how that works with you.
Exactly. So we actually take the puzzle and we put it in our own proprietary bag, and we take the box and we recycle it, and then we print out a legend that's laminated, And with that, you get the puzzle and the laminated legend inside this reusable poly. And the poly comes with a prepaid return label. So when you're done puzzling, all you do is reseal the package, slap on the return label, and send it back to us, and we'll ship you another puzzle. Hassle-free, sustainable. We love it.
Exactly, and I love it too. And you mentioned sustainable, so it's biodegradable, the packaging, we're reusing the puzzles, so we're not just using them once and throwing them away or whatever we're doing with them. You clean them, you get them back out.
Yeah, and fun fact, we actually get 10 plus uses out of some of the puzzles because we only ship premium puzzles from big manufacturers like Ravensburger and smaller ones like Art and Fable and Ebu. So premium puzzles, they last a long time, and it's fun.
All right. Well, thanks for explaining how that works. And I know, and I've heard people have been interested in signing up for your subscription service here, and glad to have you here and make that option for folks available.
Yeah. I'm just excited. We're seated right next to, you guys can't see on the camera, but we're seated right next to the Ravensburger booth. And I'm just watching people purchase the puzzle for the individual contests. I can't tell if it's because they like the picture or they're like, well, I just want to time myself and see how I do compared to the others. So my guess was they want to time themselves, see where they would stack up. So that's kind of a fun little thing. If you're a speed puzzler, you can get the puzzle and that way you know where you land on the ranking.
You're practicing for next year to see where you're going to fall in the rankings for next year. Yep. So we just panned through a few of the puzzlers, and it would look like only one that I saw was working on the edges. All the rest are pretty much sticking to the main colors. It's fascinating. I love to understand how and why everyone picks certain pieces of the puzzle to do. But it's interesting that all the pros pretty much do the same.
And maybe that's the technique that gets you to the pros.
I think so.
Okay,
I think so.
Right. It wasn't just coincidence. And talking about people buying these, I see at least Nathaniel, who's the illustrator that did the first puzzle we put together for the team competition yesterday. He is autographing puzzles for people that are buying his puzzle there.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm so glad Nathaniel stayed. He's a really popular artist for Ravensburger. He does these really kind of beautiful, rich, warm-colored, fantasy type of images. That's my jam. I love fantasy stuff, so I'm all about the dragons and the fairies and anything magical with a wizard. It's like I'm buying that. Yeah, so we were lucky to have him and Dean McAdam here this weekend, and Dean kind of focuses on fairy tale stuff that has familiarity globally, and puts his little own twist on it and also makes some really beautiful detailed illustrations. So it was really fun to have them here this weekend, have them signing puzzles. They're getting selfies galore with fans. That's how you know you're in Jigsaw Puzzle country, when they know who the artist is and they're like, I'm a huge fan. But when you think about it, that art is meaningful to a lot of jigsaw puzzlers because you're spending hours with their art. It's not like, you see it once on the wall and kind of pass by, or in a store or in a gallery. It's like you're literally looking at it for hours and hours. And so people, have a real appreciation for it, which is exciting. I pulled up the USA JPA rankings because that's one of the benefits of being a member with USA JPA is we provide a ranking. And how people get the ranking is by participating in our individual virtual contests, or we collaborate with the speedpuzzling.com website. He does virtual individual competitions a couple times a month. So we collaborate with him and we generate rankings. And I'm not going to try to explain the math. That's what Tammy is here for. Tammy, we have a whole explanation on the site, but Tammy developed a kind of, formula that takes into account the difficulty level of the puzzle as well. So we do that by we have at least 5 people from the organization doing a puzzle so that she can calculate the difficulty based on their times relative to how they performed previously. So we're proud of that. We're proud that we can give people a ranking and give them a sense of where they're at. And we have some of those top ranking people here today. So if I'm looking at the rankings, we haven't updated this super recently. I think the last time we updated was maybe a couple months ago. But like Gray Rogers right now on our USA JPAR, we call it JPAR, kind of like golfing, you know, JPAR. Gray Rogers is currently in the number 3 spot. Sarah Schuler's right behind her, and they're both competing today. Katie Dilks, she's unable to be here, but she placed really highly at Worlds. A little further down the list, Dawn Rasmussen, she's in the top 10. So, you know, Robin DeCare, she's like towards the top, Melinda Whiting. So lots of familiar names from our JPAR ranking that are here today and puzzling. So we'll see.
So Gray and Sarah are actually sitting right next to each other.
Yeah.
That's a tough rivalry right there.
Yeah, it's so funny. We say rivalry, but you know, in reality, everybody's really good friends. But you know, it's friendly competition. They still want to do well. And
They still want
each
to.
other.
Right,
Yeah,
of course,
exactly.
Of course.
Like that yellow chunk.
Oh, yep. The sun.
Call it a yellow chunk. I think colloquially known as the sun. Yeah.
I know if you're from northern Minnesota, you're probably not that familiar
not
with it.
familiar. Yeah, exactly.
And of course we get a.
It's that yellow thing in the sky. I'm not familiar with that.
It's the sun. Yes, exactly.
So that's some more pro tips. So we had tabs and chunks, and now we have chunks of sky. Official. Yeah.
Right, chunks of yellow is sun. Chunks of black, that's night sky. Yeah.
Okay, it's starting to make sense now. So yeah. So in fact, the illustrator we were talking about a minute ago, Nathaniel Mortensen, I didn't say his last name. He came over and chatted yesterday as well, and it was very nice to talk to him and the technique, how he actually does it. He actually has these brushes, and he does it on a laptop screen.
That's cool.
It's technology has just taken over art as well.
That's very hip.
Yeah, exactly. And he was saying how, you know, of course, his first one was like $100 one, and then they were going into thousands and thousands, and he saw somebody else that had done something that he really liked and asked, and they had used the $100 one that he had, and he's like, you don't have to have the $3,500 one. So he went back and started using it. He said basically it was getting your technique down on using that type of digital format, because digital painting is what he called it. So you got to just kind of get acclimated to that. He's still an artist. He's just doing it on a different medium, so it required some different skills as far as, you know, transcribing it to the whatever surface you are. But then he says, it's ready to print and get onto a puzzle that way. It's already digitized.
They don't have to digitize it. Yeah.
Do all of that to it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it was a great conversation, and like I said, he was just a wonderful person to talk to. So humbled, and he's just happy that he's working with Ravensburger and that they're coming to him.
Sure.
You know, we got another idea because we've seen your art, and we think we can make this work on another one. So anyway, that's
I was going to just add to that conversation because we had a panel yesterday, and the Ravensburger folks were there. Nate Welton from the product development division, and then Nathaniel and Dean McAdam, and we asked them a couple of things. So Nathaniel and Dean do both go out and buy their own puzzles. Ravensburger sends them puzzles, but they're like, we usually can get it faster from the store. Right. So they go to the store, they buy it, and they do it. And we were like, isn't it weird to have it all chopped up? No, it's totally fine. But it does sound like it's a real collaborative process, that they work really closely with the product people in Ravensburger. And so, you know, they might say, oh, we really love your art, but can we add this element, or could we do something here to make it, you know, add a little interest? So those product development people, they know what they're doing. They know what puzzlers like. They know, and they follow the trends. But then they try to work with artists who are flexible and willing to, you know, kind of adapt those designs and their ideas and their inspirations into something that will make a good puzzle. So it was a really fun conversation to learn about that aspect. And yeah, they're just wonderful. It's just so great to have them here.
So we're coming up on 28 minutes in, so we could be 10 minutes or something like that.
We just saw the corner of EB. She's wearing the red shirt. But now we got somebody who's got that Coronado building done.
The Hotel Del is pretty much going to be, I think, about everybody's. Well, we're going to come over to a few more. Yeah, it's done on those two as well. We see the red put together.
I think what we're going to see is everybody's going to be doing that little bit of blue under San Diego last. That's going to be the part that everybody hates because it's flat blue. There's no distinctions. They're going to have to completely go by shape in order to get those pieces placed. So I expect everybody's going to have this tiny triangle at the end that they're cursing our names. Why did you do this? Earlier we had a sky, gradient in the pairs competition, a lot easier than that nice flat blue sky there.
And that was one of the first things everybody did, in fact, was that gradient sky, right, in this morning's pairs competition.
Absolutely. Everyone picked the sky first. Typically, the teams, one person would do the sky and the other person was actually doing the border. So people would just do the inside of the sky and the other person would just work around them doing the border. Pretty wild.
The photo and the illustration here, it's quite stark. So you can really see that is a much flatter looking picture. This has a lot more depth. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting.
We're also going to see who's good at a more realistic and more of an abstract type of piece of art as well. It's pretty exciting. It is so after people are done with the red Coronado building, a lot of people are moving on to the buildings, which are kind of striped, and some of them have this little star pattern in them. Right. But again, a lot of the pros they were just showing are all kind of doing the same thing.
Okay, so they've determined their strategy, and that's pretty much what we go with. So we're coming up right now on 30 minutes here. We got about 5 seconds to go. So we may be within 10 minutes or so. And Alejandro would be putting the last couple of pieces in at this time.
He's still got 4 minutes to go. So,
okay, you're right.
Elenia from the floor was just telling me, and Elenia is part of the completing the puzzle team. She just said, she was like, looking at what's happening out here, it is anybody's game at this point. She was like, there's really no clear leader at this point. So that's exciting. A little terrifying as an organizer because you don't want everybody finishing at exactly the same time because we've only got so many volunteers. Right. But, I think it'll work out. Well, I imagine as we get closer, people get a little tired. It's hard to maintain the focus. That's probably the hardest part. You can come out of the gate really fast, and then you kind of, you relax a little, sit down. Pretty soon you're kind of sinking into a slower rhythm. So it's the ones that can really keep that focus and that intensity going. I see some people standing. I'm a big fan of that. I feel like if I'm standing, I'm a little bit more motivated. If anything, it's I want to get done so that I can sit because my back is killing me.
So you're pressuring yourself, physically even as well with the pain. You're like, oh, you want this to end quickly, so that is funny. Do you think that having a competitor at your table, it kind of pushes you a little bit, though, knowing they're next to you?
That would be my guess, yeah, especially with some of these where we've been kind of mean and we've put 2 really fast people at the same table. I mean, when you have Sarah Schuler and Dawn Rasmussen sitting right next to each other and they're both top competitors, they're both really, really highly ranked, they do really well. They're going to be, you can't help it, right? You're going to be seeing out of the corner of your eye how that other person is doing. So that does add an element of pressure. And it maybe does push them a little bit. So, And how exciting. Look at this. We've got a...
Oh, my. All right. And it is Elenia Quater. Yes. She is co-founder of Completing the Puzzle. And you've been doing more of the wandering the floor and getting updates, but we're glad to have you in person here.
Thank you so much. And I just wanted to share something that I just learned. And I know Valerie already knows this, but we just wanted to share an update on this puzzle that they're doing today. So Ravensburger, there was originally a different puzzle that was chosen for the event today, but it sounds like there was maybe an issue about 6 weeks ago, and so the puzzle that was originally chosen had to be swapped, and so they were able to choose a custom image for this event, which is super exciting, which is how we ended up with this puzzle today. So just wanted to share that little tidbit of information for all of our viewers today, and you get some inside info on how we got this really cool custom puzzle for the contest today.
Do you think that you will carry this as one of your options at completing the puzzle?
We would love to if that's an opportunity for us, for all of our members. I think that our members would love the opportunity to do this special custom puzzle. Yeah.
So do you ever go out and talk to, these puzzle companies? And Brian's mentioned 45 that you kind of work with, where you go, hey, can we get some of these? Or, how many do you have that you can sell us, or whatever?
Yeah, so we definitely look for the puzzles that are most popular and just, very different puzzles, and work with the puzzle manufacturers to make sure that we can get those in stock for our members.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you may, with the wish lists and things that people are talking about, you may not have that, and all of a sudden you start seeing that pop up on several wish lists, and you're like, oh, we need to add that to the inventory?
Yes, or we see that we don't have as many of a particular puzzle that becomes very popular, and so we make sure we get enough so that they can stay in stock for all of our members.
And that's kind of interesting. So do you see like a surge in popularity of a puzzle because it showed up on Instagram, or however that people see it and then say, I want that puzzle?
Sometimes. We also, obviously, we're coming into the holiday season, so we'll see a lot of people wanting to do, Christmas-themed puzzles or things, or even snowy landscapes or things like that, which I find incredibly difficult, but a lot of people like that challenge. So we'll definitely be adding more of those to our inventory as we come into the holiday season. And yeah, we're just always looking for those trends and making sure we stay on top of them so that we can give the puzzlers what they want.
That's right. Excellent. And we want to thank you again for hosting the sponsoring the live stream.
Yeah, we're so happy to do it, and so excited that we can bring this event to puzzlers all over the world. I've been seeing that we have puzzlers from really everywhere. Saw some people from the Netherlands joining us, and the UK, and Australia even. So it's just really fun to see that. So yeah, we're glad for everyone that couldn't make it to here in San Diego, that we could bring it to everyone and spread information about the USA Jigsaw Puzzle Association and the great things that they're doing for the puzzle community, and just spread the love of puzzling to people everywhere. So I am going to get back out there on the floor and see how everything's doing, but thank you for hosting and doing such a great job.
Well, our pleasure. And it's completingthepuzzle.com.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Thanks for that update too, and that insight.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That was great. I should mention, so Ravensburger does these custom puzzles, and you can actually go to their website and you can order your own. And what's great about it is these are not like they have a separate manufacturing line for the custom puzzles or the photo puzzles. You can expect the exact same quality with this puzzle that's custom made with your choice of image as any of their other puzzles. So that's one of the things as a consumer of puzzles and who's tried out some different custom puzzle companies is you don't always know what the quality is going to be like. You don't know, if this is a special line or something that they're using. So with Ravensburger, it's going to be the exact same like soft click technology. It's going to be the same thickness, same like quality of color and all of that. So that's one nice thing about doing the custom puzzles through them. But yeah, Elenia mentioned this was kind of a last minute thing because we did have something else selected for the individuals, and everybody can relate to this, shipping issues. We were having some supply issues with the fact that we had picked something. We thought we had it all set aside and then found out, guess what? We don't have 100 of those anymore. And so we were like, what do we do? And they were like, you know what? I think what the solution is, let's do our custom, and then we can kind of, get that process separately and just make sure to get it done for you. So that's what we did. Yeah. And while we panicked a bit, in the end, I think it worked out better because it's kind of cool for us to have our logo on there.
Exactly. And so, I guess I wasn't aware of this, that you can go to Ravensburger or someone and a photo, some great, our wedding, our family, our landscape, whatever, and they'll make a puzzle out of it, I should say. Excellent.
You don't have to order 100 of them.
And that's key too. So you could get for the family for Christmas or something and give, since my family is a big puzzling family. So that's that. Yeah, I've got two. We've got just over 2 months to get that ball rolling. So that sounds like a great idea. So how are we doing, you think?
Oh, it's so we're in the corner next to the Ravensburger booth, and there's a lot of chatter. But when Elena was here, I walked out on the floor, and it's dead silent except for the snaps. It's kind of eerie. Yeah, you can tell everyone's super concentrated. And as Val mentioned, Ravensburger's custom puzzles have that same satisfying snap. So you can actually hear a click, 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 click. It would actually give me a lot of anxiety out there if I was puzzling, which again is why I'm here and not up there. Yeah, it's fun watching everyone compete. It's really interesting hearing just the snaps and no one saying anything.
Because they're individual. There's no teammates they need to talk to. They don't want to talk to of course, talk to their competitors unless it's to throw them off. But then it's throwing you off too. So that's not a good strategy.
They're all so focused. It's intense. It's really fun to watch.
All right, that's great.
All right, I'm getting some updates from the floor. I asked, how close are we? Are we getting close? We showed a shot a little while ago when you were talking to Elenia of Yvonne, and it sounds like she's pretty much in the lead right now. Elenia's estimating maybe she's got, 7-8 minutes left. But she said otherwise it's really hard to tell. We got a lot of people at pretty much the same spot, so she's maybe got a lock on number one if she can keep up the pace, but hard to say who's going to be behind her. Sounds like Sarah Schuler, as we expected, she's in there. But a lot of those people that are kind of all clumped together in the corner, our fast people are all kind of in the same boat right now, it sounds like.
And it was this morning that Yvonne and Sarah, they took fourth in the pairs competition. And then, of course, as Brian mentioned earlier, that Sarah was on the winning team yesterday in the foursome, and Yvonne's team was third yesterday. So first and third yesterday, and then they were a pair today, and they finished fourth. So, yeah, they're two of definitely the fastest, and we think Yvonne is in the lead right now.
Yeah, and our prediction was a little off. I thought maybe right around this time we'd start seeing people getting close, but it sounds like this puzzle's a little harder than we thought. So we might be closer to like a 50-minute first place finish, but we'll see. Yeah, with the pairs, it's kind of a bizarre thing. So Jeannie and Kathy Reuter, they were the winners of the pairs division, and then they didn't sign up for individuals. So it's kind of a bummer because you're like, hey, would they have repeated that and like really, kicked it into high gear again?
I actually asked them afterwards. I was like, are you going to do the individual? They said, no, we're too competitive. They're twins. So they were like, no. And I forget which one, but one of the twins was like, I am so competitive. I would feel really bad. I would rub it in her face if I won. So they were like, they're very self-aware. It was very sweet, but yet very aggressive.
Passive-aggressive kind of a thing. That's funny, but they're like, okay, we know ourselves too well. It wouldn't be good if we went against each other, right? We can work together as a team.
That's really funny. I love that they're like, we've got to preserve the relationship above the puzzling competition stuff. But there's a lot of folks here that pair up, have been on teams together before, and now they're going head to head. So that is a bit weird. Yeah, in our team, Robin is the only one really on the team that I work with that competes individually on a regular basis. The rest of us all find the team experience a little bit more fun and satisfying. But Robin has always been, I think, the most competitive of us, and she loves the individual. So, but she's definitely proven to the rest of us on the team that she's probably the best puzzler on the team, because none of us can really match her in the individuals. So she's really, really good. So yeah, it's fun to see how this goes. It's also a little weird because I might be one of the organizers for the event, but I'm also friends with a ton of these people. So I am rooting for them, but of course there's no advantage to being my friend.
Right.
If anything, they get talked smack about more on the live stream because I know them and I know I can tease them a little bit.
So the volunteers are out strolling table to table. We even have a couple here that brought a couple of young kids, probably, I don't know, 5-ish or something like that. They got chairs with them. The kids are getting them acclimated to the puzzling. I think they brought a few of their own puzzles and toys, and they're set out here. It's really sweet. And we have looks like we have an update here. Okay. So one of the co-founders and board members of the USA Jigsaw Puzzle Association, Allie Krasny, with an update.
Thank you. Yes. I just wanted to hop in and let you guys know everything's looking great out there. It's very interesting because we're getting a lot of different strategies. Most people didn't start with the edges. Some people started with the sun and the Hotel Coronado. I think we're getting close over there. Lots of different strategies all over, like, no two people did the same thing. So it's going to be really tough to tell when people finish, especially because they didn't do their edges first. But I'm going to have to go back over there. One other thing I wanted to mention, though, we just posted the live stream raffle, the last one, for a completing a puzzle 3-month subscription, a 3-pack of personal training sessions with Jeff Whittle, a Zacco puzzle board, and a speedpuzzling.com registration gift certificate. So anyone watching the live stream should submit that now and then watch again at 3:30 Pacific for the closing ceremonies where we'll announce the winners.
All right,
So,
great.
all right, thanks, guys.
Thanks for the update, Allie. So, yeah, get those in by 3:30 Pacific. That'll be 6:30 Eastern, of course, and you'll have to figure out Central and Mountain on your own. There's only 2 in there. I just won't list them all. But anyway, yeah, so you can, in the comment section, you can register for a specific drawing, the 4 prizes, she said, just for the live stream, as well as we have raffle prizes for the folks here and for the volunteers as well, for really helping us out and doing a lot of the heavy lifting all weekend. You guys have been doing the heavy lifting for 9 months, but this weekend it's everybody's involved here. So
No,
we're
and this
coming
is
up
the
on
fun-
45.
Oh, we're coming up on 45. I did hear that we're getting close with a few people, so this is exciting. Something I'll just mention too, you mentioned the live stream raffle. We're really excited today at our closing ceremonies at 3:30. We're going to be giving away 2 of the Ravensburger 40,320 piece Disney Magical Memories, I think it's called. Disney Memorable Moments, it's called. 40,320 piece. We're going to be giving 2 of those puzzles away today. One that is just only the volunteers were eligible for that drawing. And then the other one is just from all the competitors and participants here this weekend and the convention pass holders.
I heard those puzzles.
Everybody's in whispered tones right now.
Retail for like $600 on those puzzles.
Yeah, it's $600 for that big puzzle. And I've seen them go for more than that on eBay because sometimes it's really hard to get them. So, yeah.
Bet. And Brian, you were saying it's the 40,000 was really hard, or what? You sounded like you had.
I'm not even going to touch it. Not at all.
You just know without even going there that's.
Yeah, no way. Not in my vocabulary.
Who has the space? I mean, I'm just like, you got to rent like a town hall to assemble the whole thing when you're done.
The floor of your garage, and you're going to be parking the car in the driveway for 2 months until we get
You're
this.
also hunched over, too. Like, you think you're hunched over here sitting? No, you're on the floor, hunched over. No, thank you.
All right. Yeah.
And there's Sarah Schuler. So we expect her to be towards the top. She hasn't done the sun yet. I'm surprised.
She was sorting the sun.
Yep, she's sorting it by shape.
Yes, she was doing the shape sorting on the side. That was real interesting. I thought it was really, oh, she's doing good.
And go ahead and say that again.
Karen Puzzles was doing pretty well too. They just showed it. She kind of looks like she's worked her way up from the bottom to the top.
Oh yeah, she's got a lot of that, and kind of.
Karen, I think that's Karen there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, she's doing great. It's like I said though, that little triangle of blue is going to be the part that's going to just be the end bit for everybody.
A little bit around the Hotel del Coronado, it looks like those little pieces, and of course we know a lot of our live stream viewers have tuned in to see Karen because she has nearly 200,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel, Karen Puzzles, and you know, a lot of fans of her, you know, having fun putting together puzzles of different types and different strategies and things like that. So a lot of folks are rooting for her, and she's turned in some nice times as well. Her and her sister were in the pairs competition this morning, right? Karen Puzzles and her
Katie
and
Puzzle.
Katie, right? They
Yep.
finished.
They finished 13th in the group and then 8th in the pairs. So they're definitely up there. They're one to watch. On the pairs one, we kind of knew Karen was going to do really well because the top part was the gradient, and gradients are her jam. So for this one being solid, I'm rooting for her, but I don't think it's quite in her wheelhouse. But she's a phenomenal puzzler, so we'll see.
And just on that point with Karen, this is her first ever.
Yeah, it is
in-person
wild. Yeah,
competition.
yeah. It's got to be stressful no matter what. I mean, you have all the lights, cameras, and there's a crowd of people around her. And then her friend Gray is a championship puzzler that's snapping pieces next to her. My nerves. I can't. My palms are sweating again just for her.
How you can see that triangle. See what we talked about? That flat blue triangle and then the yellow sun. It's also that flat solid color. So that's going to be where that shape sort might come in really handy for people to be able to do that.
This is really fun, and I'm glad that the live stream viewers were going, we'd like to hear more about the strategy. I mean, that's you guys being experts in this, a puzzlepreneur over here, and
I'm sure Brian sees a lot more puzzles than I do because of the massive inventory you guys have created. But yeah, this is really fun. So now watching Sarah, you know, I think that shape sort's a great idea. I think that's going to pay off for her in helping to just narrow down your options, you know?
She only has the hard pieces left. She has. It's just those blobs of colors, or the blob of yellow, as we call the sun here.
in the more southern tiered states,
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All sunny all the time. All right. It looks like we're going over to Yvonne. I think so. I think they're actually.
Or if we're seeing something else. I just heard from Elenia that she thinks it's going to be Yvonne, Sarah, and Karen Puzzles all kind of in the top 3. She said right now it's looking like they're the closest. But it sounds like it's evened out a little bit, so it's going to get stressful.
That would be a huge coup for Karen if she finishes in that top 3.
Awesome. That'd be fun to see.
It definitely would. So, and of course, she unveiled her puzzle. We've got they've got a picture of it over here on the wall, or her puzzle yesterday, and she mentioned she has another one coming out in the spring. And her sister is. I have the wrong sheet here. She's I think 29th. Yeah, she's at team number 29 table, and the tables, there's actually 2 members per table, and so we're not sure how she's doing. She said that her sister Karen was the better puzzler of the 2, but that they had fun doing it, and got together a few times in the past year to work together to do pairs, since they do live on opposite coasts.
Yeah, one thing I'll say is, like, when you go to a lot of competitions, it's more random, the table assignments. I think puzzlers, if I'm a puzzler in it, I appreciate that because I'm not right next to the people that I'm most competitive with. But with this, you know, being live streamed, having a limited number of volunteers, we kind of forcing them to be close to each other, so we can watch them all. Exactly. We don't want the camera to have to run from one room to the other. Yes, exactly. So that adds that little element where, you know, they're kind of all put on the spot because they're right next to each other. No, I know. It's getting there. Yep.
But it looked like Sarah was slightly ahead, but we'll see.
Got the yellow done.
Yeah.
Karen just put in like 4 or 5 in a row, and that's got to build confidence. And you could tell she was getting excited with it. It's going to come down to the wire. She's getting close. This is going to be wild. This is fun. I know, it's very, very ominous.
Whisper because we don't want to be the loudest people in the room right now and have them all listening to us. But yeah, it is really quiet in here. You could hear a pin drop right now.
It's like a golf tournament.
Yeah, and look at that. Now, Karen, it looks like she's put them into lines. She's kind of getting some organization going there to help her get those last pieces in. She's right next to Gray Rogers, and you can see Gray a little bit behind her, I think, but has that same area kind of there to go. But Gray, she's one of these two that just sometimes she'll just have this burst and it's just like crazy fast. So I
Close. They're so close. This is crazy. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, every piece matters at this point.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
significant. This is coming down to the wire. This is so cool.
And really appreciate the cameramen that have been working this weekend, and they're on this, and the way they're set up, we can see both of them right next to each other, and these are probably two of the top three right now.
Yeah, and it's got to be so frustrating because when you pick up a piece and you try it in like 3-4 places, my team refers to that as jamming, and that's what we call panic mode. You're sort of at that point where you're just like, please go in, and you're just like, try, but like you said, every piece matters because it limits, the other pieces available for you to choose from, and and you can go down a roll, or you can sit there and you can get bogged down. So it's just going to be interesting to see. She's literally just grabbing every piece that's that shape and trying it, and that's what you end up having to do there.
There's two more.
Yeah, she just got two more. Oh,
And then it's,
what do you think about their posture right now, Jeff?
oh my.
How bad do you think their backs are going to hurt?
Badly. It's and I talked about that in our stretch and strengthen session, today, that this morning. There's really no way to get around the bad posture for the competition. You just have to try to compensate later. Stretch
Power through
and
it.
strengthen. Yeah, right. Stretch afterwards and then work on strengthening
Let's
that.
see, Karen has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 pieces left, roughly. I think Karen.
Is she going to be first? Elena, are you thinking Karen's coming first? You guys, are you on, Yvonne? What we're seeing on our monitor is on Karen.
All right. So we're trying to get a feel. Oh, there's a couple more. Oh my God, Yvonne got in there. It looks like
Yep, Yvonne, yep, it was Yvonne.
Yvonne was number 1, but this is down to number 2. Karen has 7 pieces left. 6. She's
Fine. I mean, brutal. Somebody wins and you've got 5, 6 pieces left. Oh, look at that. I think it might be Karen next.
there it is. One more, last one. Yeah, woo! And there it is. Karen Puzzles finished second.
Yeah.
Excellent, right behind Yvonne. And how did she pronounce her name?
Foyt, yep.
Foyt. Okay.
Huge shout out to Yvonne. That's so impressive. She crushed it.
She crushed it, and we put her down. Okay.
Yep. And she was set to be, I had her third in the rankings.
You had her from her finishes yesterday. And
Correct, yeah. Oh, wow.
Gray.
I think that is Gray, yeah. Sarah. Oh,
Sarah. Okay.
Sarah Schuler coming in third. Oh, look at that. They're all so close to each other.
so Sarah's taking home 2 of the the top 3s, yeah. She got first, fourth, and third.
And this looks like Gray. Yep, looks like it might be Gray fourth. Wow, they're all really tight, close finishes.
I'm
Say that
com-
again on the-
I penciled Gray in for fourth. I'm pretty confident.
You've got first, second, and third place finishers.
First, second, third. Again,
Yvonne at 54.41, Karen at 55.15, and Sarah Schuler 55.42. Everyone was within 1 minute of
wow.
Wow.
So that was the top 3 all within 1 minute.
6, so keep puzzling as fast as you can.
Did Gray finish in that time? I didn't see. Oh, no, that looks like Gray's right there. Okay, you're right. She's probably going to be 4.
That was very exciting,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
especially that camera angle with the 2 there. Even though we didn't see Yvonne win, it was great to see
Exciting.
those
Yes,
2.
yes. Yeah, I think she might have been on the live stream, but we just didn't see it on our monitor. Oh, wait, no. Did we get it? Who's our number 4? Table number 10. Kelly Walter. We've got a Kelly
Yes.
Walter.
Is it table or?
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. I think team. Gray just
Okay,
finished. So
there's
Gray is number 5. We'll see when the results come in. I don't want to screw it up. There's a lot of crazy.
fourth right here. I think that's Kelly. Yes. Yeah.
Exciting. Didn't see that coming.
Love the underdog story. That's great. You got to get Kelly up here. Oh, Kelly Walter. Nice. Shout out to Kelly. Good job. That's impressive.
She finished. It was
Oh, I don't have the times in front
Elizabeth.
of me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, was it?
Oh, that's
No.
Walters.
Yeah,
Okay.
oh, that's-
Oh, there's a Walter and a Walters. Yeah, a couple of tables apart.
She's in position 10, so that would be table 5.
Okay, and you put her down for fourth today. All right. Yes.
I don't know if everyone can kind of see the layout here, but Kelly is in table 5, which is directly next to Karen Puzzles and Gray Rogers. So you're getting the anxiety from those people finishing ahead of you, and I don't know if it's making you puzzle faster or just giving you anxiety.
So we have the times here for our top 5. We just got those posted online. So, yep, Yvonne Foyt was at 54:41. Less than a minute behind is Karen from Karen Puzzles at 55:15.
34 seconds.
Yeah, and then followed closely by Sarah Schuler, 27 seconds behind Karen Puzzles at 55:42. Yep. Kelly Walter was our 4th place at 57:04, and she's 2 minutes 23 seconds outside of the first place. And then Gray Rogers 5th with 57 minutes 26 seconds. So wow, that's really close. Everybody's right in.
The next place is here we go. This is the last one that actually gets a medal. Right. So, yeah. So I think we just had 6th.
We've got our 6th. Robin DeCare.
Oh, awesome. Oh, Robin was up there. So she was 4th for points. Awesome. And she came in 6th. So Robin got 1st in the team, 7th in the pairs, and 6th in the solo. She's a rock star puzzler.
My teammate. I'm so proud of her. It's very exciting.
And of course, well, look at this. We're going to be 1 minute in, or 1 hour in right now. 1 hour in. So we're halfway through the individual competition. So we're going to hope everybody finishes. But if they don't, then of course we go to counting the unconnected pieces to determine all the places through 100, 1 to 100.
I would say we've maintained our reputation as being a hard puzzle contest. We were expecting winners to come in around 40 minutes, and it took closer to an hour. So I think this puzzle's a little harder than we thought it was going to be. Fine by me. I like having a challenge. But, it'll be interesting to see how many of the 100 individuals can finish it in 2 hours, because we're talking these people are lightning fast, and it still took them almost an hour. So it's a bit of a challenge, it sounds like.
So Yvonne finished this 20 minutes and behind Alejandro's world record in Spain. He's from Spain. He did it. That was maybe a home field advantage, I would say, on that. But that doesn't account for home field advantage. It doesn't mean 20 minutes though plus. So but
we're going to say that the puzzle was easier. Exactly. It was an easier puzzle.
I can speak to that because, the puzzle that we did at Worlds for individual final, it was like a photo puzzle. It was a street scene, and it was like from, Amsterdam or somewhere like that where the buildings are all bright, different colors. So it was like this, kind of street of brightly colored buildings, and they all were different. And that meant you had some pretty clearly defined areas. So it's not surprising that puzzle would have been way faster than something like this. There were no areas with like a flat color or anything like that where people had to shape sort or anything. So I think this is a harder puzzle. Oh, we got another. Oh, there. You know who that is? That's I think that was Marty. What's the last name? Or Mary Carty? Mary Carty. I think that was her. And she's somebody who used to compete back in the 80s and 90s in the national championships. So I think that was her. And she's finishing in the top 10, so good for her.
She got 9th in the pairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And now I think she's top 10 in individual.
She's going to be, if we try to refresh here.
we'll refresh and see what other finishers have gotten checked in it.
No, Robin was 6, so we must be waiting on a few that haven't been
Okay.
posted yet.
Okay. Robin 59:23. She just said.
Yeah, 59. Okay, Robin DeCare is 59:23.
That was for her 6th place finish.
And she medaled, so now this is just for bragging rights. Right. Yep.
Yep, you're right, Mary Carty.
More and more people are starting to finish as you hear the cheers in the background. And here's one we're wrapping up right here with the painful blue.
Mary Christensen, or Dawn. I can't really tell. All I'm seeing is hands. Actually, I think it's Dawn.
Right. 3 to go.
Ooh, here it goes. Here it
All
goes.
right.
Yep,
There it is.
that was Dawn. Yeah, Dawn Rasmussen, just finishing. Good job, Dawn.
And her Team Rasmussen, was 2nd yesterday in the 4-person competition.
What number was Dawn?
She was up here. Okay, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
And she finished 5th in the pairs today.
Yeah.
So she was definitely.
She's a pro puzzler.
I like that.
Great job, everyone. We've got
I do feel like we got to start saying that. Some of these people literally are like pro level, where you know they're going to do well, and they've borne that out over the course of the weekend.
Great job, you guys. Be sure to stick around for award ceremony.
So yeah, we always debate as an organizing group, like how much do you want to interrupt and announce things, because some puzzlers are like, don't interrupt us because we are trying to stay focused. So we kind of take the approach, we'll announce those top finishers, then we let them go back at it. I've been to contests where they play music. Big no-no, because it depends on the rhythm of the music, right? Could affect your puzzling.
Right. Some like techno that's just like driving, just make everybody
Yeah, right.
even more amped.
Yeah, you will see some competitors wear headphones, and it's either to block out the distractions or to do that, to listen to music that's maybe got a really fast beat that's going to help them keep their pace up.
Right.
Say that Gloria Stefan had it right. The rhythm is going to get you. I'll be here all day.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Miami Sound Machine. Where were you when I was on the radio playing Miami Sound Machine? I could have used a line like
There
that.
you
You're
go.
going to be feeding me lines.
I was gonna say, I wasn't expecting a Gloria Stefan reference today, but I'm delighted by it. So all sounds good.
That's funny.
So we actually had a few people finish in the back of the field, and we're waiting now to figure out who it is. But this is Melinda Whitling. And so Melinda here was 4th in the teams, 2nd in the pairs, and now it looks like she's going to finish 14th or 15th maybe. So another pro puzzler. Yep.
So we did. So at 6. All right.
Yeah, is that Melinda Whiting? I think that's Melinda Whiting just finished. Yeah.
All right. At
Yeah, Melinda was
14th.
number 2 in the pairs, so she was Gray's partner. So that shows you how they did so well as a pair, because both of them,
Formidable, yeah.
both of them right in it.
So it's Suzanne Ryman finished 7th from Mountain View, California, 1 hour 48 seconds. Mary Carty, as we talked about, from St. Peter's. Yeah, go ahead.
With Suzanne real quick, Suzanne actually got 25th in Worlds. Yeah, so pro.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. And she finished 7th here. All right. Then we said Mary Carty was 8th.
Tricia Seidlecki.
Tricia Seidlecki from Walnut, I assume the Bay Area there, hour 2 minutes 32 seconds. Andrea Kyle from St. Paul, hour 3 minutes 8 seconds. Dawn Rasmussen, we talked about her, Prior Lake, Minnesota, hour 3 minutes 39 seconds. Tiffany Medeiros from Lowell, Massachusetts, possibly, hour 3 minutes 48 seconds, only 9 seconds behind Dawn. Doug L. Wanger. Wanger?
I think it's Doug Ellinger, maybe. I think.
Okay.
It's pronounced.
How you pronounce it? Hour 4 minutes 39 seconds. We'll do a quick refresh here because we know we've had a couple of other finishers here in the past. Okay, those are the only ones that are coming up so far. So, but they're getting those times entered. Tammy over here at the next table, the technical director, hour 7 minutes and 50 seconds in. So we've got about 54 minutes left in the competition.
I think I'm going to run and try to grab you some competitors to interview to see how they felt the puzzle went. I don't know. I'm nervous.
All right, great. And we'll keep Brian here because he's keeping.
Just had another finish.
All right.
I think she was up in the front too. It looks like table 8 or so. 15.
There's two at a table.
Yeah.
So they actually.
Someone down here.
Right.
But what was very interesting with Doug, so Doug is going to be one of the underdogs. So if you're looking for a partner or a team player, he's definitely one to look out for because I don't think he competed in the teams or in the pairs. I was trying to find it. So if someone is looking for a partner, for someone that is a pro puzzler, I think Doug's your man.
He'd be a good what would you
good
say?
partner.
A partner.
Yeah, a good puzzle partner.
A good complement to whatever your skill is.
Oh, absolutely. Because as you can kind of see, the theme is if you're a pro, you're going to win either by yourself or in a team or in a pair.
Right. So Melinda Whiting did come in 14th. She's from Cottonwood Heights, hour 6 minutes 4 seconds. So that was 11 minutes behind the leader. And then Alyssa Zackler finished 15th. Stevenson Ranch, just LA suburb, 1 hour 8 minutes 5 seconds. And so we've got 15 of our 100 competitors have finished so far. And we're certainly. Go ahead.
Melinda, just to piggyback, Melinda finished 14th in the individual and 4th in the team and 2nd in the pairs. So, yeah, pro puzzler. It looks like.
All right. And joining us here on the set is going to be our winner. Congratulations.
Hi, thank you so much. I did not expect to win.
You didn't.
No, I was aiming for top 10. There's so many fast puzzlers here, and I totally thought they were going to totally beat me.
But apparently you're a very fast puzzler too then because you beat the fast puzzlers.
Yes, I guess so. I just got lucky today, I think.
I doubt the lucky, but so we also want to say that Yvonne Foyt, right? Is that how you
That's correct.
Okay. And so what about this puzzle? First part, what part did you find easy that helped you win the individual competition?
Well, I did the letters in the sky first because, well, first of all, I'm most familiar with this symbol because I've seen it everywhere, right? So, like, so easy to pick out and then do that first. So I did this first. And I was like, why not do the San Diego next? And so I picked those out and I did that. And then, of course, the red is the
Hotel del Coronado. I picked that out. That's what everybody got, the roof of the building.
Yeah, that was just easy to pick the pieces out of the bunch, and so might as well just start there. And then I did the fancy towers because those are easy to pick out, pieces to pick out. Like, I just went for the pieces that kind of looked easy to pick out and sort out. And then I think I did this for next, and then the things. And then I realized that the solid purple was easy to do, so I did the freeway, and then I did the border here, and then filled in the border. And then, of course, I did the trees, I don't know, in between the buildings sometime. And then I filled in the rest of the border, and then it was only solid pieces left, and I hate solid colors. So I was swearing the whole time. I was under my breath. It was a lot of swearing and yelling at the pieces, being like, why aren't you going in? You should go in there.
So the sun and maybe this section of the sky under the San Diego was where.
I did this darker gray first because that was easiest because that was the least amount of pieces, and then this because that was the next least amount of pieces. Then I did the border of the sun because that's easy to pick out, and then the interior of the sun where I swore at those pieces for a while, and then I only had blue left, and I swore at those pieces for a while.
For a longer time, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, I suffer on solid colors a lot, so I thought that would lose me the race. But I was very surprised when I finished first.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. So, in fact, Brian's been kind of tallying up how everybody's been doing on all the competitions of the weekend, kind of going by that to say, oh man, they did great in the team, the pairs, they're going to probably do really good in individual. And so, Yvonne,
You were in the top 3.
I was in the top 3.
Coming into the individuals, you were tied for 3rd.
Tied for 3rd.
Yeah.
you, that's what we did.
You signed like points to the places.
Correct.
Yeah, so you finished, is looking at Brian's sheet here, so you finished 3rd in the team, 4th in the pairs, and then number 1 in the individual. So we just kind of looked to see who else did really good. So Sarah was 1st in the team, 4th in the pairs. You were just kind of behind her. Melinda and Gray were 4th and 2nd. So that's kind of what we did to see, okay, who are the people that finished the top in all the competitions?
I see.
And so you were
that's
3rd,
cool.
4th, and 1st. And now you're the winner.
Happy with 3rd. I'll take first.
Excellent. Great. Great.
I have a question for you. So near the end, did you shape sort at all?
I did a real quick, get all the pieces that don't have 2 furs out and on the side. I did it real quick for the yellow and the blue only, just because I needed that to get through that solid colors fast. And that's the only way I could have done that, and at any good speed.
How are your nerves? Like, walk me through that, because you're puzzling. You're on a table with one of your friends, and all your friends are around you. So how are you feeling as everyone's snapping them in?
I usually get really nervous for individuals because, like, pairs and teams, I can talk to my teammates and, like, the banter helps calm me down. But as an individual, and I know Mindy kind of, but not, like, super well. We kind of talked, but as I was going through the puzzle, I was like, all right, if I need to talk to somebody, I'm going to talk to the puzzle.
Swear at the puzzle.
Yeah, basically just swear at the puzzle. So I was just doing that, and I was super nervous. In the pairs, my hands were shaking. But
Valerie Coit, one of the board members of the USA Jigsaw Puzzle Association, was talking about that as well, about how she got more nervous in the individual, just like you described, that when there's a pair or team, she can kind of let a little steam off and chat back and forth.
Yeah.
So you feel the exact same way.
I do. Yeah, it's hard. So this is only like the 2nd time I've competed individual-wise by my live. The first time being world champion. And then I'm just trying to figure out those coping mechanisms that you should use in high pressure situations like this. So I think I finally figured something out. I must have did it right.
Breathing, being the personal trainer, we're always talking about, you find yourself getting too hyped up. Breathing and nostril breathing, because when we breathe through our mouth, we kind of hyperventilate. We're only breathing into the shallow top part of the lungs, the physiology part. That's the sympathetic system. That's the fight or flight. You want to breathe through your nose and deeper into your abdomen, the diaphragmatic breathing, and that's actually rest and digest. So breathing through your mouth shallow is only going to just wind you up more, and think through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. And that's what they've actually, breathing certification courses talk to you about that. That's one that I'm taking. I've studied a little bit. I'm going to get a certification just in breathing as on an aside, just so I can do other work with my clients. But I just wanted to give you that as maybe a little thing. So, and they say the nostril breathing, you get more oxygen out of the air you're drawing in, and you even get a little more oxygen as you're exhaling, as opposed to through your lungs, and you're not even getting any. So it actually keeps you calmer, your brain a little sharper.
In a yoga class I take, they breathe in for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, and then breathe out for a count of 4. So I was trying to do that a little bit.
That's the guy I'm going to take this class with. That's exactly it. Pramayana breathing from yoga.
Oh Yeah. So I try to do that a little, but sometimes, my mind doesn't let me do that. So.
But that's exactly what it is. Exactly. And then they do the different, you said the counts, then you can do to like get yourself hyped up if you need to, if you're running low on energy and it's a late afternoon and it's like, oh, I got to get perked up. I still got work to do. They talk about emphasizing the inhalation and holding it, and then exhale shorter. But if you need to calm down, you focus on the exhale, make that longer, hold out longer, do a shorter breathe, inhale and hold less. So there's all kinds of these, yeah. So, pranayama breathing, it's the yoga breathing, and depending on what you want to do. You get hyped up, need more energy, or you need to calm down before bed. So hopefully, something like you're already doing that on your own. You said that. So.
Yeah, I was trying to. I mean, it's hard to like empty your mind and then think about just your breathing. Right? But you're like, oh, I should do the edges. Oh, wait, I'm breathing right now. No, I should do this first. No.
You're right. And when I was doing the stretch and strengthen session here, I was like, got to keep breathing. It's always like, because when we get really intense and focused on something, we tend to hold that breath. So it's like, no, we got to breathe, release, breathe.
Yeah.
You obviously lift and work out. You know all about the breathe, not holding that breath in when you're doing a big bench press or
Correct.
something.
I try not to hurt myself. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can hurt yourself. You bet. Good.
No, absolutely.
It's working good. 'Cause
Thank you.
we didn't talk about this, but I'm a trainer. I had to at least say something about the guy next to me that's obviously lifting way more than I do. So, all right. Well, we're really excited to have you here and partaking in all three competitions.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was so much fun, and the organizers did an amazing job, especially for the first time. I think this was amazing. I thought it was going to be like, this is like something like you've done for years, it feels like, but you've only done it. I know.
Excellent. Well, thanks again, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Last question before you go. What are you doing to celebrate?
I'm driving home to LA.
Sunday night traffic to LA is not good.
I will definitely take a drink for sure. I need a drink.
Good. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
All right.
Congrats. You did good. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
So as we were talking, quite a few people ended. So let's actually refresh here and see if we recognize any names. We can call some people out. Oh, yeah. We have 10 or 15 more. Yeah. If you want to just call them off.
Sure, we'll do that. I think we're at 15, so Alyssa Zackler. At 16, Kyle Kosen with a K, hour 8:30 seconds. Elizabeth Karen, 17th from Duluth, hour 8:37. And Darn Healy from Australia. She finished 18th. She's the president of the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association. Her time, hour 9 minutes 48 seconds. Kimberly Ken from Pasadena, hour 9:49, just 2 seconds behind Darn. Lindsay Seenstra from San Diego, hour 10 and 30 seconds. 5 seconds behind her, Elizabeth Walters in 21st place from St. Louis Park. I know that's a Minneapolis suburb. I have a friend in St. Louis Park, so hour 10:35. Valerie Daly came in 22nd. She's from San Rafael up in Northern California, hour 10 and 52 seconds. Casey Turner from Santa Ana in Orange County finished 23rd, hour 12 minutes 9 seconds. 24th place finisher Abby Patno from San Diego, hour 12:29. Number 25 was Michelle Chan from Houston, hour 13 and 26. 26th place, Jessica White from Elk Grove, Northern California, hour 13 and 58 seconds. So that's about 19 minutes, 17 seconds behind the winner. 17 was Michael Suey from Emeryville, California, hour 14 minutes, 26 seconds. Matthew Murillo, hour 15 minutes, 48 seconds. No city listed for him. Emily Chandran, she's from North Attenborough, hour 16 minutes, 12 seconds. So 29. Oh my, there was a big finisher. Okay, and they're still rolling in. So at number 30 was Joshua Chan So we had a couple of Chans finish only a few apart. From Los Angeles, hour 16:36. And Dan Karen from Ashburnham, hour 17 minutes, 1 second. Candace Warner, no hometown listed, hour 17:24. Jessica Derby from Minneapolis, hour 17 and 35 seconds. Samina Schiller from Rancho Santa Margarita in Orange County, just up the road, hour 19 and 30 seconds. And Carolyn Offutt is from McLean, Texas, I imagine. Maybe, exactly.
Virginia.
Oh, right. I forgot about Virginia. Right, 35th and hour 20:07. Now we've got some Facebook comment. Oh, and we can't, we have to go to Facebook, but I just got a notification that we had a Facebook comment. We'll see if we can get some of those up. We got a couple more. Jessica Graber from St. Augustine, maybe Florida, hour 21 minutes, 7 seconds. Emma Pan from West Roxbury, hour 21 and 38 seconds. Christina Lee from La Mesa here in San Diego County, hour 22 minutes, 9 seconds. Hannah Dimitrov from Fallbrook, just up the road a little bit, hour 22 minutes, 16 seconds. So we're at 39 as of a moment ago, and now we're already up to Christina Lai. We had, I think, a couple of them. Okay, Hannah Dimitrov, Fallbrook, okay, mentioned that. The new one's at the bottom here. 42 was a Natalie Davenport from Pleasanton in the Bay Area, hour 22 and 56. So we have about half of our competitors done. We just crossed 1 hour, 24 minutes, and we have Karen Puzzles coming back to the table as our second place finisher in the individuals. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was not expecting that at all.
You obviously, this was a puzzle then, obviously, that may have played to some of your strengths then for that great finish?
Yeah, this is my favorite type of puzzle. As soon as I saw the illustration, I was like, yes, I got this.
You did.
I love just solid colored, like blocky, modern illustrations. That's like all the puzzles I do just for fun.
Right. So kind of Art Deco-y kind
and
of?
the colors are easy to separate. So like it's easy to just grab all the oranges. So yeah.
All right. And you were neck and neck with Gray, because you guys were at tables right next to each other.
Yeah, I could just glance over and see. And we were like, I kept glancing over because I thought she was going to be like so far ahead of me because obviously how well she did at Worlds. But then I was like, I'm kind of keeping pace.
It was excellent. And the camera angle we had, you could see your puzzle and Gray's next to each other. So we were going like, I think Karen's got a couple of less pieces. I think she's ahead by, in fact, we were.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We were definitely on
Yeah.
that. So how did you feel when you're coming down to the end then? And
Oh my God. Nobody had finished and I was almost done. And I was like, what's happening? Am I missing something? Like, what's happening? It kind of made it more stressful, especially because it was so quiet in here because of the pairs, no teams, no pairs, no one was talking to each other.
Right.
So it was a little eerie and just kind of silent.
That's funny. That's exactly what I said. It's eerie. So I walked over there and you could just hear click, click. And then when it's click, 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 you're like, oh my gosh. I was getting excited.
And then I heard the cheers, so I knew that one person finished. And then I was so close, and I kept waiting for someone else to finish, and then I finished.
And we were all watching on the monitor, and we all jumped up and said, Karen did number 2. It was awesome. And the times, in fact, right here.
Oh, do you
Let's
have
just
them?
peek. Yeah, so you were only seconds behind. Yeah. So
Okay,
you were
can I-
34 seconds.
Can I tell you something that happened that I don't think the live stream picked up?
Sure.
Okay, a few minutes into it, I had the entire bottom edge done, plus a little bit on the sides, and I knocked it, and I knocked like 10 edge pieces onto the floor, and I had to lean down, pick them up, redo that part of the edge. And if I hadn't done that, who knows?
That might have been the 34
Maybe.
Second, that's impressive.
Well, because also when I opened this, I was like, it's a fairly easy image. That kind of makes it more stressful because there's no margin for error. Everyone's going to be really fast. And so when that happened, I was like, this is going to put me really far behind. But I got back on track, and then I guess it worked out.
It certainly worked out. So your followers are going to be very thrilled when you can post it to those that haven't heard about this yet.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be so great just for the YouTube video. In my head, I'm already like, all right, this is going to be so dramatic. I'm thinking about the music I'm going to add.
Right, of course.
You get the trophy too, so.
Yeah, I just walked over and looked at it, and yeah, I'll be able to put that right on the background of my puzzle shelves.
Question, walk us through your strategy when you first saw it. So you said break it down. Like, what was going through your head?
So I started by turning everything over, and I separated the edges at the same time that I turned everything over. I did the logo because that was easy right in the corner. I tried to do the San Diego text, and for some reason I just could not, usually text is my favorite part, and I just could not figure out how they went together, so I abandoned that. Then I think I did the sun because the yellow is easy to spot. Then I did the orange building because, again, super easy to pull out those pieces. Then the trees, and then, the rest just kind of all came together. Yeah. I felt like I was definitely jumping around a lot, so I thought I was super disorganized, but I guess not.
That strategy paid off. Did you do any shape sorting?
No, actually, I thought when I got to all this blue at the top, I thought I would have to, but I just sort of organized them into a grid, but not by shape, and then I could see everything well enough that I didn't have to.
That's fun to watch.
And I think what we saw from most of the people coming down to the wire is maybe the little bit of blue over here and a little bit of blue over there or something like that.
Well, I think it's smart to not do the blue edge first, to leave all of the blue until the end, because as you get the middle filled in, you can work off of that and then just add the edge pieces, which is way easier than just trying to do the edge on its own.
Right. When it's just a solid
Yeah, when
color like
only that part, just the solid color.
Right. We'd heard from the folks on the live stream that they liked us talking about the strategy because for the amateurs out there and stuff, they want to hear how the pros look at a puzzle picture and say, okay, here's what I'm going to do first, here's what I'm going to do second. And so that's why we really wanted to have you help break that down. So I appreciate
for some reason, when I looked at this, I could not distinguish the textures of these different buildings. So I left the buildings until last and did them a little bit at a time. Yeah, that was pretty tough because it's all the same colors repeated over and over.
the white and kind of goldish,
Yeah.
and the blues in there.
And every second that you spend looking at the image feels like a second that you're not putting puzzle pieces in.
So there's, you need to look at the image, but that's that trade-off.
Yep.
It's like, how much time do I look at the image and how get back to it? Oh,
Yep.
hour 30. So we just passed an hour 30 on the timer.
Okay.
So we have 30 minutes left. Has your sister finished?
Yeah, I was just going to say, when I came over here, Katie was doing really well. I left my phone recording her because I was like, you're probably going to finish while I'm over there.
Okay, right. Okay. Well, certainly we're wishing good luck for her. Sarah Schuler.
We were all within a minute.
Yeah, minute and one. 61 seconds apart between you three. So bless you.
Sorry.
We'll get you. No, not at all. We'll get you. It's been a long day. You haven't drank much or ate. And yeah, we're getting dry. So we'll go down to where. Okay, and oh my, we're over 50 now. We got 52 in, and the times we'd been updating all the way through. I don't see, and some they're entering as we speak, so there's more names popping up on here all the time. We're just trying to see if your sister finished and where that was, but it doesn't look like we have any new yet. Bless you. I'm sorry. No, okay, we'll let you go. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we're looking forward to more videos from you soon.
Congrats.
Take care. All right. So what'd you think of
That was good. That was awesome. That's her allergies, puzzle dust. Her back's probably hurting. Yeah, I think everyone's pretty exhausted.
She did the 5.5-hour marathon yesterday.
Marathons, yeah.
The 2 hours this morning. Exactly. So, yeah, she's puzzled for 9.5 hours. Oh, my.
Come on.
We have Sarah. All right. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back to the dais. Good job.
That was awesome. Whew, that was a tough one. I am, again, as we said earlier, bad at solid colors, and that was a lot of solid color. But, with that, I'm pretty happy. That was really close.
So, a minute
Oh,
and
wow.
one between the top three.
That's amazing.
Yes, it was.
that must have been so stressful for everyone to watch at home. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Whew.
Yeah.
What were you thinking as soon as you opened up?
I honestly didn't even look at the image. I just started flipping. I saw that it had the USA logo, and I saw that it was going to be San Diego, but I didn't really pay attention to anything. I was like, I'm just going to flip because I'm slow at flipping. That's my weak spots. I've been better, and I've gotten better now, but I was like, I'm just going to flip, and I started sorting border, and then I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't want to do any of it, but I saved it out to the side. But I grabbed out all that orange and just went to town on the orange. I grabbed up the yellow, but I was like, this is solid later. So I did a lot of sorting at the beginning, and then I've lately been just putting all the pieces in my hand and then just pulling one out and putting it in where it's supposed to go instead of having them spread. So I don't know if that makes me faster or slower, but I mean, it seemed to work today, so. Yeah, it worked today.
On this puzzle, and it's kind of a one-off every time, right? The puzzle's different, so maybe you have to adjust your strategy.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to change your strategy for every puzzle. So like this one, you wouldn't want to do borders first necessarily because the top border is just all pieces of blue. I had it wrong in some places, so I had to quick fix it. But yeah, it was a fun puzzle. I enjoyed it, though. I think it was the perfect amount of challenge with that single color areas because it can get difficult when it's over 100 pieces of, black. But this one, it was like maybe 30 or 40 solid color pieces total. So I also had a problem with the clouds. There's like the cloud white section, and then there's the white and blue at the bottom, and it was the same color. And I kept trying to put the bottom section in the cloud. And I'm like, this is not cloud shaped. Right. And so I went back down to the bottom, and it worked out. But yeah. I was literally shaking at the end trying to put pieces in. I was like, I need to get these in, and my hands were shaking, and I don't think I've ever shaked. I don't know what word we're supposed to use there. I've never been so shook in my life.
Exactly. That's a new technical term. We're inventing new terms here in the Jigsaw Puzzle Association.
We're starting a glossary here, exactly, a gloss.
We need that.
Yeah.
The sun to the yellow blob.
Yeah, that was Valerie's. That yellow blob there, and I go, you're from Minnesota.
Yeah.
You probably haven't seen it a lot, but he's from
It's a
Texas.
what?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was just a yellow blob. I was like, why is it there? No, yeah. My mom said that. I just called her on the phone after I got done, obviously, because, got to call your mom first. And she said that a lot of people started with the sun. Is that true?
So it was actually kind of interesting. There were some people that either did the sun or didn't do the sun. So almost everyone started with the red, and then people either did the sun or did the sun at the very end.
Oh, yeah. I sorted it at the beginning, but I did it at the end.
Karen said that she did the sun next. I think, or maybe she did the sun. The sun was one of the first things she did.
Right.
I think she actually did the sun first, or logo, sun, and then the red.
Yeah, good strategy.
Logo, red,
And then I don't even know. I was like really having a moment where I could not finish one section. So I kept I would start seeing something. I was like, oh, I see a bunch of white, and I would do a little bit of white, and then I wouldn't finish it. And then I'd be like, oh, the road, I'm gonna do the road now. And so I just really flipped around a lot between sections, which is not usually how I do it. But I guess that's kind of been my strategy today. When I was doing the sprints earlier, someone was like, oh, you know what you do different than me? You work on different sections at the same time. And I was like, do I? Oh, okay. Yeah, but I guess that's my strategy today is to work on different sections at the same time.
Do you have the puzzle memorized in your head almost then? You're like, oh, I know this is here, or...
No. I wish I had the photographic memory or whatever it is that you can just remember where everything is. But
How do you know you're working on two different sections?
I looked up occasionally. I would glance really quick and be like, okay, if stripes are in 2 different buildings or 3 different buildings, or there's some frilly architectural stuff on this building. I'm sure these are all actually buildings here in San Diego.
So this is the Hotel del Coronado out on Coronado. It's called an island, but it's really a peninsula. But they film movies there. I mentioned it's
fun.
ancient. Marilyn Monroe and Some Like It Hot was there.
I've seen that movie.
Okay, that's where it's on the beach. There's a beach. It's on the beach out there. Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the besides the zoo and SeaWorld. It's probably the biggest tourist attraction.
Yeah, for
in San
sure,
Diego.
for sure. Yeah, it was a really fun puzzle though. I liked it. It was a good little thing to bring home. I don't usually keep puzzles, but I think this one might get kept.
I'm not going to sell it. That's good. I'm glad.
We're giving away our team's 1500 though on Instagram sometime next week. We all signed it, and we thought it would be fun.
So, question back on the puzzling. When you got to the end, were you doing any piece sorting? Like, how were you feeling at the very, very end?
Yeah, I mean, I was dying. I might need some stretching after this with you. My shoulder goes out while I'm puzzling all the time. It's just one specific spot in my shoulder, and so I was like dying putting these in. But I did shape sorted, and but then I like kind of ignored it and just jammed pieces in as much as I like. That's just my strategy when I get to a solid color section. I am not good at seeing shapes in puzzle pieces. I've never been good at that. I just the spatial thing isn't there for me. I need the textures or the colors. So I was just flip and rotate.
Walk me through jamming them in. Do you do one at a time in the same spot, or you take one piece and jam it in every different spot?
Yeah, well, in this one, I did sort all the shapes out. So when I saw like a little foot, I would just slam all the foot pieces in it and see which one fit, and I would like hold them in my hand and be like trying to put them in. But yeah, so it was, and then there was some times when I just tried them all around the corner, or I'd be like, okay, this has a fat hole on it. I need to find the fat knob piece that goes in it. So
I love everyone's technical terms for these: the foots, the knobs, the fat holes.
Yeah, the glossary for next year. We'll have the catalog.
yeah, we seriously need that. I thought about starting one for my blog, like having because everyone calls it different things. Some people call it like the person, or innies and outies, or like the terrible twos is the piece with the classic puzzle piece shape. So, but I call them 2 ins, 2 outs sometimes too.
No, that works. Innies, outies, that's kind of what I say.
I like innies and outies. It's funny, like belly buttons.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, awesome.
So when are you heading back to St. Paul?
Tomorrow night. So we're gonna go do some celebrating before award ceremony later. That's not getting live streamed, is it? That's too bad.
Yeah, it's not.
Well. Oh yeah, like Facebook Live or something. Yeah, I changed into my USA JPA jersey for the award ceremony. I thought it would be a little weird to compete in it because it's kind of there's buttons. It's like it hangs down. You don't want anything. Yeah, you don't want anything loose. No loose clothing when you're puzzling in a competition.
To the stage 3 times for first, fourth, and third.
Thank you. I heard you guys were talking about who's first overall and stuff. What did you end up?
We're talking to her.
I am. That's so exciting.
So this is our own kind of point system.
Yeah, I want to know how did you do it?
So these are my own points. You actually
Tied with Yvonne.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you two are tied. So you got first, fourth, and third. So that's a total of 8 points. And you won lowest
Yeah.
points like all. And then Yvonne is
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, we had
the same amount of weight.
we had such a cute little moment when she came over after I finished and we hugged and all my friends screenshot it and sent it to me and I'm like, yay, it's so cute. Oh, it was great to see my pair win. That was awesome. That was awesome.
There's a reason y'all are pairs and a reason y'all win in pairs.
Yeah. It was great. Oh, what a great day.
excellent. The whole weekend.
Oh, yeah, the whole weekend. And tomorrow, I guess, I'm going to be here until the afternoon, so. Yeah, maybe I'll go to the
Go
tourist
to
spots on my
Hotel
puzzle.
And exactly. The beach and all of that stuff. So
Awesome.
great work.
Thank
it was
you.
a pleasure talking with you
Yes,
as
you
well,
guys
Sarah.
too.
All right, thank you.
excited.
All right.
I'll
All
be back
right.
next
We'll
year.
see you. Good. Perfect.
Go celebrate. You earned it.
Yes. Right. All right. And we're hearing we have a couple of more folks coming over. And
That was fun. So we just interviewed the top 3 puzzlers and the individuals, and of those, 2 of them are currently winning on points for my own unofficial point schedule. So that was Sarah Schuler and Yvonne Foyt.
yeah, yes, Foyt.
Yep.
Yes.
So Sarah got first fourth, and third. That's in the team, pairs, and individuals. And Yvonne got third, fourth, and first. And super impressive. And Karen Puzzles, super impressive as well. 13th, 8th, and then second. Second for individuals. She crushed it. That's awesome.
Excellent. Hello,
Oh, it's good to meet you.
Kelly, and tell us your full name.
I'm Kelly Walter.
All right.
Yes.
Where are you from?
Originally from Chicago, but I live in Boston now. Yeah.
Okay. So you flew cross country to be out here.
6 hours. Yeah, it was a long flight.
Was it worth it?
I think so. I think I did pretty well. So
So how did you finish in the individual?
I got fourth.
Fourth. All right.
Yeah, the elusive
All right.
fourth. Thank you.
So you had a time of 57:04. You were just 2 minutes 23 seconds behind the first place.
And I lost a piece.
Did.
So subtract 10 seconds.
Okay, gotcha.
Which piece did you lose?
The white one at the bottom, it was part of the bubbles. It was like right there. It was like mainly white. I think it was just in the packaging. I've never done in-person events, so I was like a little nervous.
May have not got dumped out of the.
Yeah.
This is your first in-person event, and you got fourth.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you didn't do the. Oh, you would know. He's on track of where everybody did in all the competitions, and I'm not. I haven't been able to maintain. Process all
lot
of that.
names.
Yeah, right. So you didn't do the pairs or the team.
No. No, I would do the pairs when my sister was here, but I don't know that many people, so.
I think a lot of people know you now, so you're gonna get hit up a lot for teams and pairs.
I was kind of jealous I didn't get to do the teams yesterday. It looked really fun, so yeah.
5.5 hours of fun.
Yeah.
She's young. Her back and shoulders will take that, right? Some of the older competitors like, not 5.5. So, what are you thinking about for the future then?
I don't know. Maybe Spain in June. Sounds nice. We'll see. Yeah.
Well, you would do the U.S. proud by finishing fourth here in the individuals, so we would love to have you over there.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
Just the individuals over there, or you think about maybe doing?
I'm happy to do teams and pairs, and yeah, I just.
It's out there now, so maybe it'll come back to you with people saying.
Hopefully.
We can use her on our team.
Hopefully.
So anyone watching, a pro right here, wants a team. Oh, you're definitely a pro.
We'll see.
First competition, you're going to be on the medal stands.
We'll see. We'll see.
So now I want to hear your strategy. Walk us through what did you think when you first opened the puzzle, and then what were you sorting?
So I was
Show the folks here real
talking to my table mate Suzanne. She's super nice, and she was like, I'm really good at like long, like the earlier puzzles, the pair puzzles. She's like, I would have loved that. I was like, I would not have liked that. The sky, no, but the buildings are what I really liked because the patterns were pretty easy to put together. And then I think all of us left the blue and the yellow to the end. Yeah.
And what about the border?
I don't do it first. It kind of as I go, I do the border. So I definitely did the top border last.
That's what we heard from a lot of people because there was just, nothing to tell what that was going to be.
That's awesome. It was very interesting. A lot of everyone that finished in the top 5, 10, everyone did the same strategy. No one really did the border. And for me, I'm like, I'm going to always do the border first.
It's definitely something when I started competing, I had to stray away from that because you're so used to just sorting out the edges. When you're doing it casually, I think that's a more natural way to do it.
How'd you feel at the end? What was were your nerves? Were you shape sorting or were you sweating?
I was shaking. Well, because I was by all of the people who were finishing first, so I could see all of there was a bunch of volunteers, a bunch of people around. So I was shaking, and I was just jamming the blue pieces in. Because once I started the blue section, I don't think anyone had finished yet, or they had just finished, so I knew I was close. Yeah.
For everyone at home, Kelly's spot was right next to where all the visitors can kind of watch, and she was next to the people that finished second and third. Yeah, so everyone's finishing around you, snaps, and everyone's cheering the cameras. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot of people. I had my headphones in. I was like, just keep going. I'm almost done.
That's a hack right here.
We were talking about that just a little bit ago about like, does listening to something help you, or are you just blocking stuff out? Or are you listening to fast-paced music to get you going?
I made myself a playlist for this event. Music that I'd like run to. It like helps me. I focus on that instead of everything else around me. So.
I do that too. So what was on your playlist? Give us a few.
Oh, I don't know.
What was the winning song? Do you remember?
I think at that point I droned everything out. It's more in the middle when you're like, I just need to keep going. Like, it's kind of like the new songs, and it helps you not get into like a rut of like, yeah, it helps.
Let's post your playlist on Instagram. It would be fun.
I don't think anyone wants that. We'll see.
Okay. Excellent. So maybe the world's. Thank you so much for coming, and we look to seeing you back next year.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great work. Okay. All right. Raven for Raven. All right. Okay. Excellent. We've Larry and I have talked. I've not met you yet, Mary.
No.
How are you?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And your last name is
Carty
Carty. And you're from where?
from St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. And you did, you finished 8th.
Yes.
Hour, 1 minute, 50 seconds. How did you feel about that?
I was good. I loved this puzzle.
Oh, great, because that's what we were going to ask you about. So you felt really good about this puzzle.
When I turned it over and saw it, I was immediately, oh yeah, this is good.
Okay, so you like solid colors?
I liked the colors and it was bright. This morning's puzzle was dark, and I did not like that as well. No.
We heard that from all the folks that came up to talk to us. They're like, too dark. We were just trying to stick shapes in there. We couldn't really see the detail. So what did you do first and what did you do last?
I started with the sun. So I did the yellow sun first, and then I worked the orange and blues, and then the last part was the sky. That's
Of course,
yeah,
this part under the San Diego.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that pretty much everyone, and a lot of people saved the sun for last, but a few people did it early on. So it worked for you.
It seemed to.
Everybody was afraid of that top edge.
Yeah, which wasn't too bad once you had enough of this done. Okay. It worked out.
Right.
It's all those little pieces in the middle that get harder.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, because then which angle do I put it in? And
Great. So you competed yesterday in the teams, the foursomes? Craven for Raven.
I competed in all 3 competitions this weekend, yes,
That's right,
with
you mentioned.
Larry.
And you competed as well this morning. So Larry?
I did.
All right. And your last name?
Blank.
Blank. All right. And I certainly saw that on the list. Yes. Like
Not on
Mel
this.
with an NK. You're up. But
No.
anyway, you didn't compete in the individual.
No, I did, but I'm way down there. I just
Okay.
yeah. I didn't have as good a as an event as I've had previously. But when we were doing the pairs, we did much better because Murray is a very good puzzler.
All right. So what about you? What did you think when you saw this?
I thought it was very colorful. I really enjoyed it. I started with the writing, and then I went over to the San Diego writing, and then over to the orange and the trees. And whatever I did may not have worked as good as I thought it was, but it was enjoyable. My problem was I had my mind. I'm from Philadelphia,
Right.
and my mind was on the baseball game.
On the Padres and the Phillies.
Yeah, yes.
All right.
Yeah, and
so
I just
you
heard.
couldn't.
Well, no, I can multitask, but my mind was on that. But I thoroughly enjoyed this.
All right.
The whole weekend was great. Yeah.
Glad to have you guys here. So you thinking about maybe coming back next year? We heard people talk about the Worlds in Spain.
Thinking about Larry was at the Worlds. He's the one that connected me with this whole organization. So we both competed in the 80s in in the competition that was held in Athens, Ohio, which has been quite a while ago.
The 80s.
Yeah, 19, like, I think it was from 82 till 90, not every year, but I competed a bunch of those years, and Larry found me on Facebook and said, hey, do you know they've started up another thing? And so that's how I got it.
I was looking for her for about 3 years, because when I heard they were going to have the tournament in Spain, I figured that's something that she might be interested in, because she did really well back in the 80s. I believe she came in second in the country in the singles. So I figured maybe she'd be a good teammate.
Right.
And then after we planned for a 1 year, we had to back off because of the virus. And then by the time I connected with her, I think I had already been at Spain, and we're planning on going back, most likely. I'm not sure of the exact details.
Right. But you definitely said, well, I'm coming here, and you talked her into coming here, or was she already?
No, I had told her about this, as well as a few other people, and everybody's been thanking me for turning them on to that. Yeah, not only the city, but the whole organization. It's just fantastic.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you being a spokesperson for us and getting the word out and helping turn out.
Sure.
So thank you. The recruiter as well. So it was wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm glad you had fun.
It was a great weekend. It really was.
Great. And you got copies of all the puzzles to take home?
Pretty much. We not every single one, but
okay.
because we shared some of them, so But I've got enough to go home. I hadn't planned. See, I'm flying, so I hadn't planned for so many extra puzzles, and it'll be an interesting trip home.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
All right.
The 1,500 piece puzzle we did, was it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I did not want to take that home. I said, anybody can have that. I did not want that. That was a little too rough for me. I don't think I'll ever do that one again.
I mentioned this during the live stream yesterday a couple of times. It was somebody right on the end. The ladies were in talking, and I was taking a break and going around, and they ripped open that 1,500 piece puzzle, and she goes, "It's beautiful. It's going to be awful." And that was it. She's the second line. It's going to be awful.
Good line. Yeah.
That's why I keep repeating it. It's so funny. I wish I would have had that, got that on tape when she was saying it. But anyway, well, we would love to see you guys at the Worlds. Certainly want to see you back here next year, whether it's San Diego or St. Louis or Philly or wherever that we're going to have it.
That sounds good. Possibly Atlanta, I heard.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right.
I'll travel anywhere.
All right. You got it. And I wish I could wish you good luck for the Phillies, but we're in San Diego. You're playing the Padres. We can't wish you good luck.
The game may be over by now.
Okay.
With a Philly victory, I'm hoping.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. And I didn't even hear the other night because I've been doing this. So would that be the series?
Yes, it would. Well, it would get us to the World Series, and Philadelphia will be going crazy tonight. And I hope so. I hope it happens. Yep.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you,
Larry. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us here on the live stream, and to the thousands of folks we've had out here watching us over the past couple of days. So really appreciate it.
You're quite welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care. All right. Bye. All right. And we're at an hour 55 minutes. That means we have just under 5 minutes left in the competition. The individuals that haven't finished will be told to stop, hands up, and then we'll count the unconnected pieces. And that's how that works. But we've had a lot of folks now. She just refreshed. We're up to 75, so three-quarters.
Yeah, so I'm Valerie Coit, the USAJPA board president. I'm rejoining you here after all those fun interviews. And yeah, I'm just looking at the results. We've had 75 out of 100 teams finish thus far. We've got a few minutes left for the people remaining to wrap it up. When we hit the exactly 2-hour mark, we'll ask them hands up. And then we take a photo of their puzzle in order to verify. And then we also have volunteers that go around and do a piece count. And so we see how many pieces they have left, and we rank them according to that from there on out. Mm-hmm.
So, and I know we talked about this yesterday, but to refresh, as far as the rankings, so those will go out for the individual competition. They'll earn ranking points.
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, it is a member benefit. So if they're not a USA JPA member, because you didn't have to be a member to sign up for the competition, if they're not a USA JPA member, they won't be in that ranking. But everybody who is a member this time will be taken into consideration. So either it'll be figured in with their current ranking, or they'll just get a new ranking based off of the time for this puzzle. Yeah. It's so cool. It's just really rewarding to see everybody talking about the puzzle. We've got some that were for sale, and a lot of people have bought those to take home and try to compare and see how they stack up. I don't know what we're going to do if we have other people wanting it. I feel like we're going to have to come up with a way to make it available or something for those of you at home that are like really wishing you could give it a try. But yeah, it's just been such an amazing weekend. We're so excited about how everybody's done. And, it's just been great to be on the live stream with you, Jeff. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate you being here to offer your expert insight and commentary, being a competitor and, of course, the board member, president of the board.
Yep.
So you mentioned a benefit of being a member of the USA Jigsaw Puzzle Association. Yep. Another finisher. Oh, in the final 2.5 minutes here. Good for them.
Yep.
So it's only $15 a year to be a member.
Yep.
Brian says he keeps telling you guys to raise your rates because you get so much. People that sign up get so much benefit for the $15.
Yep.
And so tell them besides the points. the rankings.
You're right. Yeah, no, we're a nonprofit organization. For us, it's really about providing a sort of hub for jigsaw puzzlers to connect with each other. So that's really what it's all about. We want this to be fun and welcoming community for all. And so we're really focused on, doing virtual events that allow access for everyone so that you don't have to travel, but also encouraging groups to do virtual and in-person competitions like this one, swaps, social puzzling. We're there for all of it. We love anything jigsaw puzzle related. So, we're just so excited to have this whole weekend of activities and meet all these new people. It's just been fantastic.
So it doesn't have to be this pro level competition. Right. You want to maybe grow future pros from the amateur. Hey, if you enjoy it, just get into it. Maybe you'll find that you're fast.
Right,
and that's
like Kelly, today.
Didn't even know they were fast until they started competing against other people, and they go, oh my.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's what it's all about. We want to just give people opportunities to explore new aspects of the hobby. But, a lot of the puzzlers that are part of our organization, this is just a fun hobby. It's not like a sport necessarily.
Right.
So we have people that like it for all different reasons. I did have one announcement. We're getting close. I think Allie, somebody should go grab Allie so she's ready to go on stage because we're down to the last minute. Jeff is going to run away from me and grab Allie. So Allie's going to run up to stage. We have one announcement to make that we just found out. We're not going to be doing a live stream of the closing ceremonies as we had discussed. So I know there's lots of you on the live stream who've signed up for the raffle online. Don't worry, we're still going to do the raffle and we will post those winners. We've asked for your contact information, so we'll still get in touch with people to let them know if they won. We're raffling off 4 prizes today. We'll do that, make sure people get contacted. Let's go to the finish.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish.
Let's see. How many did finish? Let's look. Oh, so close. We had 81 finishers. The last person to finish just under the wire was Brittany Siciliano from Fort Worth. She finished at 1:58.13.
So maybe
just
one or
under
two
the wire.
getting entered in actually over there.
Yeah, it does look like it. It looks like we'll have a few more to enter.
Almost everybody finished, so that's excellent.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, I mean, I know we're probably going to be wrapping up in a few seconds. I just, again, want to thank everybody. Live stream raffle people, don't worry. We'll be in touch. We'll get the live stream and we'll post something on social so you know whether you won, and we'll get in touch with you. And everybody out there that's been watching today, thank you so much for being part of the event and being here to celebrate and enjoy all of this fun with us.
All right. And I want to thank Brian Thomas and Elenia Cater from completing the puzzle, for sponsoring the live stream. Of course, Ravensburger for being the title sponsor and many other sponsors that have helped put this weekend on and offered prizes and things like that. So we really enjoyed it. I'm Jeff Whittle. I really want to thank you for watching the live stream, and take care and happy puzzling.